On the night, the wind began whispering Niko's name. He knew something in the forest wanted to be found. The sky over Ikun village glowed a deep orange as the sun dropped quietly behind the mountains. Evening fires crackled in front of mud brick homes, and the smell of roasted plantain drifted lazily through the narrow footpaths. Children played with carved wooden toys. Mothers called them inside. Drums from distant compounds announced the end of another peaceful day. But beyond the last hut, beyond the small farms of yam and cassava, lay the great Aniga forest, a place villagers spoke about only in low voices. It was said the forest was alive, as old as time itself, and full of secrets that watched humans more carefully than humans watched them. And in this village lived Niko, a 12-year-old African boy with more curiosity in his heart than there were stars in the sky. His feet were always dusty from running from one place to another. His mind was always full of questions. Questions the elders did not always have answers to. Why does the river never run dry? What makes fire crackle when it eats wood? How does the moon know when to appear? The villagers called him the boy who thinks too much. His mother called him a restless bird. His father simply said, "One day, curiosity will lead you into trouble." But Niko believed curiosity is a gift, a drum that beats inside your chest, guiding you somewhere important. He just didn't know that the place it was guiding him would soon be the heart of the ancient forest. It all began on a quiet night when the wind was supposed to be sleeping. The moon was hidden behind thick clouds, and the village was silent except for the slow chirping of crickets. Niko lay on his mat, staring at the roof, unable to sleep. Then, suddenly, "Ho! Ho! Niko!" Niko sat up quickly. The wind had spoken his name. At first, he thought he was dreaming. He rubbed his eyes, blinked twice, and listened closely. "Niko! Come, come to me." His heart thumped like a talking drum. He rushed to his window and peered into the darkness, expecting to see someone hiding behind the banana trees. But no one was there. Only the forest swayed gently, its tall shadows stretching like long fingers in the night. The voice came again, soft, playful, almost laughing. "Come, Niko." He felt the hairs on his arms rise. But instead of running to his parents, instead of hiding under his mat like any other child would, Niko whispered, "Who are you?" The wind did not answer with words this time. Instead, it brushed his face, cool and gentle, like a hand inviting him forward. Niko swallowed hard. His curiosity beat its drum. He stepped outside. The next morning, Niko told the elders what he had heard. They exchanged worried glances. Old Mama Ori shook her head. "Child, do not follow voices in the wind. The forest plays tricks with young minds." Hunter Cade, with his scarred arms and eagle eyes, said, "The great Aniga forest calls only when something is wrong inside it. Do not go." Even his father frowned deeply. "Niko, you must stay away from that place. Too many stories, too many disappearances, too many spirits that do not like being disturbed." But Niko could not shake the memory of the whisper. It was not a frightening voice. It was not angry. It was lonely, as if something inside the forest was begging to be heard. For 2 days the wind remained silent, but on the third night it came back, stronger, clearer, almost urgent. "Niko, Niko, follow." This time the wind carried the smell of fresh rain. Even though the sky was dry, it swirled around his house, circling him like a child tugging at a friend's sleeve. Niko knew the forest wanted something, and he could no longer ignore it. Just before dawn, when the village still slept and the stars began to fade, Niko packed a small bag. a calabash of water, 2 roasted yams, his father's old slingshot, and a carved wooden charm his mother had given him for protection. He stepped outside quietly. The wind was waiting. It pulled him gently toward the tree line, toward the tall, towering shadows, toward the place adults feared to speak about. Niko hesitated. He could still turn back. He could still return to his warm mat, his mother's cooking, his father's quiet strength. But something inside him whispered, if you fear everything, you will learn nothing. And so, the boy stepped into the great Aniga forest. Inside the living forest, as soon as he entered, Niko felt it. The forest was awake, not just with animals and insects, but with a presence, an ancient awareness watching him from every direction. The trees stood tall, like guardians. Their leaves rustled without wind. The ground seemed to hum under his feet. Niko whispered, "Hello?" The forest answered with silence. Then, after a few steps, snap, he froze. A twig had broken behind him. He turned sharply, raising his slingshot, and found himself face to face with a small gray monkey staring directly at him. The monkey tilted its head. Then, in a surprisingly gentle voice, it said, "You shouldn't be here." Niko stumbled back, eyes wide. You can talk?" The monkey sighed. "When the forest is troubled, everything talks. Now hush, follow me." It leapt forward gracefully, landing on a low branch. Niko blinked in amazement, but followed. They moved deeper into the forest, past giant termite mounds and glowing mushrooms that pulsed like breathing lanterns. Strange birds with red feathers flew overhead, whispering in soft harmonies. The forest was alive, in a way Niko had never imagined. Yet, he felt no fear, because the wind, still swirling around him, made him feel somehow protected. After an hour of walking, they arrived at a clearing. Trees curved together, forming a natural archway. The monkey stopped. "This," it said, "is the path of echoes. Walk straight. Whatever you hear, do not turn around." Niko frowned. "Why?" "Because this forest plays with sound. It will mimic voices from your mind, people you love, people you fear, memories, lies. If you follow them, you will be lost." Niko took a deep breath, nodded, and stepped into the path. Immediately, he felt a chill. "Niko, my son, come back." His mother's voice. He clenched his fists. It was not real. He walked faster. "Niko, help me." His father's voice, full of pain. He bit his lips so hard it almost bled. "Not real, not real. Keep going." Then, a new voice, small, fragile, a child crying. "Please, help me. I'm scared." Niko stopped. This voice did not feel like a trick. This voice felt real. His heart wrestled with fear. The boy's cry came again, weak, trembling, desperate. Niko swallowed. "Is someone there?" he called out. Silence. Then the wind brushed his cheek. "Keep walking," it seemed to whisper. Niko closed his eyes. "I'm sorry," he whispered to the unseen child, "but I can't turn around." And he ran forward. When he crossed the archway, at the other end, he collapsed, gasping for breath. The monkey nodded at him with respect. Not many make it through. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the strength to walk through fear. Niko smiled tiredly. "Is the forest sick?" The monkey's expression grew dark. "Yes, and you are the only one it called." By noon, the trees grew enormous, thicker than houses, taller than watchtowers. Their roots twisted like giant snakes across the ground, and in the center of the deepest grove stood a single ancient tree, older than anything Niko had ever seen. Its bark shimmered with faint blue light. Its leaves glowed like moonlit water. Its branches were heavy, drooping with age and sadness. The wind circled it slowly. Almost mourning, Niko whispered, "What? What is this place? The monkey bowed its head. This is Iroko Elder, the first tree, the heart of the forest. Every creature, every leaf, every whisper of wind comes from its life and something is hurting it. Niko stepped closer, noticing a deep wound carved into the tree's side, a wide gash oozing dark sap. How did this happen? He asked. The monkey's voice trembled. Humans. A cold weight fell on Niko's chest. It continued. Weeks ago, strangers came with sharp tools. They cut the sacred bark to take pieces for charms and medicine they did not ask. They did not respect the forest. Their wounds weakened Iroko Elder. If it dies, the forest will lose its voice and its magic. Niko reached out and pressed his hand gently against the wounded bark. It pulsed under his fingers, slow, weak, struggling to breathe. Suddenly, a deep voice vibrated through the air. Not loud, not angry, old, ancient, tired. Child of the questioning heart. Niko's breath caught. You came. The wind circled him, lifting his hair. The trees bowed slightly. Even the ground seemed to hum. Niko whispered, I heard you calling. What do you want me to do? The ancient voice spoke again. Courage reveals truths that fear hides. Look deeper. A gust of wind blew the leaves aside, uncovering something at the base of the tree. A small wooden box. Niko knelt and opened it. Inside was a stone, smooth, round, and glowing faintly with blue light. What is this? He asked. The monkey answered, The heartstone. It carries the life of the forest. Put it inside the wound. Niko lifted the stone. It thrummed like a heartbeat. He hesitated. What if I make it worse? The wind whispered around him. Trust yourself. Niko exhaled sharply, raised the stone, and pressed it gently into the open wound. The moment it touched the bark, boom! A powerful surge of light shot through the tree. The ground shook, leaves shimmered, wind spiraled upward like a pillar of light. The ancient voice sighed, a long, relieved breath. You have restored what was broken. Niko stepped back, eyes wide. The wound had closed. The tree glowed brighter. The forest around him pulsed with new life. The monkey bowed deeply. You saved us. But the tree spoke one last time. The danger is not over. Niko's stomach tightened. Those who wounded me will return. You must warn your people. Only a united village can protect the forest. Only courage can change fearful hearts. And with that, the voice faded. The journey back felt different. The forest no longer felt heavy. Birds chirped brightly. Sunlight pierced through the leaves. Even the wind sounded happier. At the forest's edge, the monkey stopped and placed a small leaf in Niko's hand. A gift, it said. Whenever the forest needs you, or you need it, this leaf will show you the way. Then, with a quick bow, it disappeared into the trees. Niko stepped out of the forest to find villagers running toward him. His mother crying, his father furious, elders shouting, children staring. Niko, his mother sobbed, hugging him tightly. His father shook him by the shoulders. Where were you? You could have died. The crowd encircled him. Niko raised his hands, took a deep breath, and began to speak. He told them everything. The whispering wind, the talking monkey, the wounded Iroko elder, the danger coming their way. At first, the villagers murmured in disbelief. Then, Hunter Cade stepped forward, his voice trembling. If the heart of the forest dies, our rivers, our farms, our rains, everything will change. The elders exchanged uneasy glances. Niko's father placed a hand on his son's shoulder. We must protect the forest, he said softly, even if we once feared it. By evening, the entire village gathered. They formed a watch group to guard the forest borders. They cleaned their surroundings, promising never to take from nature without permission or gratitude. Niko stood proudly among them, feeling taller than ever. That night, as Niko sat behind his home, gazing at the stars, a gentle breeze passed behind him. Not a voice, just a whisper. A whisper that felt like thank you. He smiled. For the first time in his life, Niko understood. Curiosity had not led him into trouble. It had led him to truth, and courage had helped him reveal it.